Hey Facebook gang, this is Bob. I am bringing to you day 13 of the Positive Vibe Sesh. I'm at Siesta Key Beach and I have met a really cool couple. Sean and Debbie, I noticed earlier, they were in meditation far away from the beach, and I started turning my mind about wanting to ask them some questions so that you get a little bit of break from my voice and you get to hear it from somebody else. So I'm going to turn it over to Sean and Debbie to introduce themselves. I'll ask them a few questions, but you're in for a treat today, so let's have at it.
All right. Hi, I'm Sean.
And I'm Debbie.
And here we are, sitting here on Siesta Beach on this beautiful day. You know, life's all about choices, and 8 months ago we chose to move here to Sarasota, Florida, believing we were called here. And this is one of the reasons we're here, this beautiful beach and this beautiful sand, and the way that we feel when we're here.
So I had approached both of you and you had given me permission to have some questions asked around meditation. I saw you sitting and seated, I saw the mudras, I saw the mindfulness that was going on, and then what really made me want to ask the question if I could interview you was the connection that you two had. That when I saw you stand up and join hands and walk out to the ocean and have that swim, I just wanted to ask the question, so what has meditation meant to you in your life, and why is it that you do meditation?
I find it so very important. I had to start meditating in order to know what I was missing. And actually, it was in my yoga practice and attending Inner Bliss Yoga Studio in Rocky River, Ohio, and my yoga instructor, Sally Brooks, would teach us how to meditate for free after her class, Tuesday and Thursday, and it was such a beautiful experience. And once I started understanding that everything comes together in meditation, and it cleared my mind, and I could hear my own thoughts and ideas and be present and enjoy my life. And it increased the joy, and it increased the clarity, and it helped me to integrate what I was learning and what I was experiencing, and to allow, instead of change being scary, change became transformative and a welcome lift. And that's what meditation was allowing me. So on days when I get too busy to do it, I can feel the fuzziness creeping back in. And I don't like it. And not enough coffee in the world can bring that clarity.
Sure. And Sean, you had mentioned the meditation, the yoga as a way to clearing out the clutter to get to that meditation. Talk to me a little bit about that process.
It's to just sit down and just be still and not. I mean, part of the reason I meditate and the benefit I've learned from it is to get beyond just having that voice run in your head all the time and listen to it. And as Eckhart Tolle says, if you're saying what voice, when I say that voice, so because that voice will get me all caught up in trying to please everybody and being in a bunch of fear about everything and what's going to happen next and what do I have to do to make everything okay, and I don't have to do anything to make everything okay, but get quiet and get tied into the inner source of power that is within me and within everybody, and it's a process though. So the yoga centers me with the breathing in yoga, calms my entire being, and the physical movement, gets all that energy out of me and settled down, focused in a positive way, and then I'm able to listen to that still small voice within when I do get to sit and be still.
We had talked about there's the small voice within, there's a big voice for many people that might be viewing this. The meditation and yoga and things that many people ascribe to maybe Eastern thought or Eastern practice, and that being at odds in some way with Western tradition or Western practices that we go through. And we all had a conversation about you still go to church and you still practice. Talk to me a little bit about how that integrates with your life, how meditation and yoga and those processes help amplify maybe what else goes on in your spiritual life.
It increases the gratitude, and gratitude increases abundance and increases joy. And so when I'm in the moment, I am very clear in knowing all my needs are abundantly met in this moment. And when the next moment becomes this moment, all my needs will be abundantly met in this moment. And so when I leave the moment, that's when I become afraid or I regret. And meditation and yoga and all the spiritual practices and processes that we do, and we pull from many different places, because truth is truth. You know, whoever's saying it, it could be a random guy on the street selling hot dogs, though I don't think that's where I get it from. You know, truth is truth, and it validates and confirms. And when I take a moment to be still, I can hear that. And when I take a moment to get centered in gratitude, joy just exponentially magnifies.
What about for you, Sean?
When I returned to church a few years ago for the first time in a while, I loved just the quietness and the time dedicated to sitting in one place. And, you know, the ritual of the Mass was actually maybe similar to the ritual of the yoga, in that it cleared out some clutter and gave me somewhere to be quiet on the inside. Yeah, as Deb said, I mean, truth is truth, you know, and all that activity or whatever I choose to do or how to get there, just allows me to get in touch and be in the present moment with what the power that is inside me and is inside everybody. And you can, you know, call it God or spirit or universe or, you know, source or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter to me what you call it. And that's the truth. There's something in each and every one of us, and it's the same. And you know, that's what we get away from. That's what I get away from. I get worried about something about work or paying the bills or putting food on the table, or the dog's got fleas again, which it does. And it takes me away from that power that is in me. And to be here in the present is the only place, that's where the point of power always is. And that's where I can change my thinking, is in that point of right now. And as Deb mentioned, I mean, change becomes a good thing then, you know, and I do have something to say and some influence on how my life turns out. You know, it's too short to be miserable and to be fearful and to be worried. But I can't will that stuff away. You know, I need to be in touch with some power greater than me. And the crazy thing is, it's right inside me. Just
Awesome.
gotta uncover it.
So any closing thoughts? I explained to you sort of my viewing audience and what they get out of it, but anything that you just want to share in closing with the audience?
Just try it. You know, as we were talking earlier, I thought of an experience I had with one of my older brothers that was maybe 20 years ago, and I'm reading books and asking him questions about meditation, and you know, he made a comment that, you know, reading a book about it is very different from doing it, and that goes for anything. Just sit down and try it. If you want to go to get some help with it, great, but just sit down and focus on your breathing and give it a shot and see what comes up.
And my mind is like a little 3-year-old, and you know, in a minute it's distracted on shiny things, and I'm over in my mind going over to cook or grocery shop or whatever, and I just take that child's hand and I just gently bring it back and say, this is where we're gonna be. You know, I don't grab it, I don't get mad at myself, I don't judge myself, I just go, and I just begin again. I root down, breath to my heart center, I connect it, and I say a mantra, so hung, which means I am. And the more that I'm consistent with it, it's not how long, it's no judging. The more consistent I am with it, the more benefits that come. It allows me to surrender to being led. I don't have to have all the answers. The answers come.
That's awesome. So in closing, I had, in my discussion with these two, they had both talked about how in not seeking, they found each other, and as a part of the meditation, and as a part of the process, when we turn inside, it's when we find a lot of the answers that we ultimately were seeking, and can take a step back from and allow those answers to come to us in the time that they're willing to come. So I want to thank everybody for session number 13. I told you it was going to be a special treat. I thank you for listening and watching, and for giving your love and support to Sean and Debbie and to one another. So love one another, teach and inspire each other every day, and I look forward to talking to you on day 14 tomorrow. Cheers.